Alright guys, I've got a project here I hope to knock out in just a few minutes. Installing a frost-free spigot here next to the barn. So I've got water running into the shop right here, and one of these days I want to run it over to the garden for the irrigation, automatic irrigation, but I don't have time to dig the trench and all that right now, and we need to start getting water going here within the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to just install this spigot right here and use a water hose to hook up to the irrigation. So should be a pretty simple job. I'm gonna dig a hole with my tractor auger here to put the frost-free spigot down in the ground. That's a used one that I pulled out of another spot. This is the PEX tubing, so I've uncovered it, and there's a valve right there under that access hole, so I'm gonna just use these shark bite fittings. I got a T, and I have a elbow that's going to go into the bottom of the frost-free spigot. And I know that's a dissimilar metal, but I had this already and I didn't really want to have to go find a brass fitting to fit that, so we'll get that going. Okay, let's see what we got. So here in Texas, we don't have a very deep frost line. I'll try to go about a foot, but 18 inches, something like that. I don't think it's going to be a problem. So I'm going to tap into this line. I'm going to go in and drain the sink and cut this line right here. Put the T-fitting, run the PEX over to here and drill a hole with the tractor to put our frost-free down in the ground, and see how deep I need to be. Let's get that done. Okay, this is some interesting stuff. I've worked with this PEX for a while, well, for a couple of projects, but I just want to show you real quick how this stuff works. It's pretty cool. And I started out of high school. Before I went in the military, I was a plumber back in the 80s, and a plumber's apprentice. That was my job for a while. And we didn't have this kind of stuff. You know, I barely was able to thread black pipe and sweat copper and stuff like that. I was starting to learn a little bit about copper when I went in the military, but this is some pretty cool stuff. This PEX, you don't need very many tools. Once you cut it with these little ratchet type tools, and be real careful. I just pinched my finger in here figuring out how to use this again, but you cut it with this, and then you clean the edge with this little tool. It's got a little blade in here right there that just cleans the edge of the pipe, and then these shark bite fittings are just press and play. You just there's the rain. You just snug it up, and then if for some reason you mess something up, you get these little tools here that releases the shark bite fitting. So you put that on there, squeeze it against the this little plastic edge, and you can remove the fitting. That's just a really cool process, and I haven't had any problems with them leaking, so that's what I'm going to be using here. Clean the edge. Seat. Let me cap off this end over here and should be able to test out for leaks. All right, let me show you what we're doing. So the way frost-free spigots work, this is a drain hole and the valve is actually down here at the bottom of the pipe. So when you open and let water in and close, once you close this, the water drains down the pipe into the ground and out this hole. That's why it's frost free, because this is below the freeze line. So you got to keep this hole clear of dirt and mud, and it's best to put a little L or some kind of fitting in here, because this is threaded, I do believe, but I don't have one. So what I'm going to do is put a rock in there to set the elbow on. Okay, and then we're going to fill the hole as much as we can with pea gravel, and that'll allow the frost-free drain to work. So let me figure out where to cut this. Another good thing about these fittings is they swivel, the pipe swivels after it's inserted. I'm gonna move my pipe over. Because I'm also gonna put this 4x4 in there to secure my spigot, just like that. keep the pea gravel from going into the ditch. Just want it over here. I've got an awesome wife. Check that out. I got a little bit of dirt on the sandwich, but she didn't do that, I did. So here's what happened. I wished I would have videoed this because I got frustrated and quit working on the plumbing because I had a leak on my shark bite fitting right there. So I took that thing completely apart. What had happened, and I don't have any video, sorry, but the plastic insert, the little white insert that goes inside the tube here, one of them had crushed and pushed all the way to the other side. So that was what was causing a leak. So I took everything apart. I got water pressure on right now and there's no leaks. So I took everything apart, reshaped those little plastic inserts, made sure the teeth were all working, and put it back together. And now I've got no leaks. So I also took the gravels out of the hole, and let me make sure I don't have any leaks on this. So it's fully pressurized and there's no water dripping from the bottom of this elbow, so that is leak free. So what I've also done here is drove this 4x4 down into the ground, and I'm gonna secure my frost-free spigot to this 4x4 once I get everything filled in. So I need to clear out my little drain plug, fill it back up with pea gravel, and then we'll be done with this job. You can see the water coming out of the frost-free right there. That's the drain for the frost-free plug, and that's how it works. Okay, so all the water drains down below the valve and prevents it from freezing up. So my drain is working, so I just need to now fill this with pea gravel. Dang it. Oh, shoot. That freaking hurt. Well, I'm gonna need a Band-Aid. I'm gonna fill the rest of this hole in and we'll be done. All right, that's gonna do it for this video. I've got the spigot installed, the dirt back in place, my valve box over the valve, and now just waiting for some rain to settle the dirt. I might have to put some more fill in here. And I put a paver down there, so if there's no bucket, it doesn't wear out the ground. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching.